And I really encourage people to, if you play the banjo at any level at all, and you find yourself accidentally doing something that sounds kind of neat and you've not heard somebody else do it, don't be shy about working something out around it, see if it leads to you to some other thing, because that's how tunes get originated. And sometimes the banjo tune is based on something very, very simple. And I've heard Earl Scruggs and also John Hartford talk about how you hardly need but anything to make a tune out of. And when you think about some of Earl's most famous tunes and the things you remember about them are little phrases like, or, you know, it doesn't take much to give it a hook. So I'll just play a smidgen of one that has the smallest hook that I know of. It's a two-note hook. And when I first wrote the tune and I taught it to my band, I said, I don't know what to call it yet, but so we'll call it Bing Bong. And we later got the name Free as the Wind, and I actually play it as a kind of a slow, moody tune, but this is just a real short thing that I'll play for you. It's in G minor and goes to B flat, so it goes. And then I just go to C. More C, and then the clarinet comes in going bing bong, and so anyway, so that's an example of a little bit of a hook. And in the case of Armadillo Breakdown, I was really just trying to work out Remington Ride, and I came up with a slight variation on it. And then I said, well, if you put an F chord in there, it'll sound different from Remington Ride. And that's called writing a tune off of another tune, and it's done a lot. And it was enough so that once Russ Barenberg and Tony Trischka and folks like that got a hold of it on the record, they made it it was a good vehicle for them to do their stuff, and it made the tune a little more interesting. And I'm just telling you that it doesn't take but a willingness in many cases to go ahead and write a tune. It doesn't take any special amount of great insight or something. You just hit something that's nice and go with it. I'm trying to remember if I've heard you must have written a banjo tune or two along the way.
You know, I wrote a few instrumentals early on, maybe when I was 13 or 14, but I haven't written a banjo instrumental since.
Do you remember any of them? Come on, out with it.
I don't remember them enough to play them. One was called the Adirondack Breakdown. It was really
it's like Armadillo
great title,
Breakdown.
You know.
Fantastic title.
Yeah.
Well, I have a request. I don't know if this is legit, but and tell me if it's not. I'm sure you're going to do Farm of Yesterday up in your set today on the main stage. But just in general, I get this asked a lot as a teacher. They say, "Oh, I wish I could sing and play at the same time." I say, "Well, there's some very fine singers who are banjo players, but they usually don't do much playing while they're singing." And I remember Billy Edwards. You may remember him, who could do that. But most, like Ralph Stanley or Alan O'Brien, practically mostly just hold the banjo when they would sing. What's your policy on that? And if you are able to sing and play, could you do that song?
Well, I'll tell you, I do sing and play at the same time. Not on Farm of Yesterday. In the band, I use my guitar on that one. I put banjo in afterwards, but most of our songs, I do have to play banjo while I'm singing. Early on, I figured out that I wanted to sing, but I thought all my favorite banjo players don't, I never see them singing unless it's on a chorus. And Earl would oftentimes stop playing altogether on the chorus and add his baritone, and it became part of the dynamic of the Foggy Mountain sound. But I remember asking my teacher, how do I do that? He said, practice.
Can't be done. Oh, well, so can you give us an example of something that you do? Maybe, do you keep a roll going sometimes and do all that?
Yeah. I want to do something like a One-Year Yard Night, just to illustrate it.
Sure.
I don't get too fancy while I'm singing. I try to keep a good solid roll and try to support the song. Partly because when I have to look away to do a lick up the neck, my voice does this, and you lose the lyrics. So, all right.
Why don't you kick it off and I'll just chop chords
All
for
right.
you.
Tonight I'm sad, my heart is weary. I'm wondering if I'm wrong or right to think about you, though you left me. I wonder where you are tonight. That old rain is cold and slowly falling up on my window pane tonight. And though your love grows even colder, I wonder where you are tonight. You broke my heart, you never loved me, although you often said you cared. But now you're gone to find another, someone who'll know the love I share. That old rain is cold and slowly falling up on my window pane tonight. And though your love grows even colder, I wonder where you are tonight. That old rain is cold and slowly falling up on my window pane tonight. And though your love grows even colder,